the Desert Tiger Podcast.
Hello, Astrid.
Hey.
How's it going?
Been all right. How are you?
Having a beautiful day, lovely day. Cannot complain at all. Yes. Definitely some good vibes going around. It looks like the sun is bright and shining through your window over there. So,
Very bright.
well, it's good. It's glad that the sun is shining down on your day as we reconnect here once again.
For sure.
Yeah, all right. So the last time we chatted, I think you had released your first single off of this upcoming EP, Comfort. You're just about to release Better Off. And of course, from there, some things didn't exactly go the way that we had hoped. We had hoped that things would reopen. So you made a little bit of shift in plans. So that's where I would love to start off. Is that decision, how difficult was that?
It was, I think I didn't admit to myself how much it sucked because I don't want to be negative. It's not like, I don't want, it's not helpful for me creatively or just personally to get upset by everything. And the music industry is always changing and you're always making adjustments. So in my head, when we made the decision to pause the release schedule, I was like, no, it's fine. It's going to work out. It's going to work out. And then I realized, I was like, wow, it's like June and I still haven't gone to release anything. And then very quickly I was like, nope, I don't like this. I was like, nope, I want to release something. This has been too quiet for too long. Yeah. And I got the reaction from like my audience. Like I got a lot of message requests like on Instagram and TikTok and everything. People being like, where'd you go? Like, hello, are you okay? People were asking me if I was okay. And I was like, I'm not happy about the situation, but I'm okay.
Well, at least people noticed and cared enough to try and check in. They wanted more Astrid Tanton in their life, obviously. So,
Yeah.
So, of course, my next question then was, what were you doing during that time to make sure that you were making the most of this time? Did you just go into songwriting mode then, or where were you at?
So my team and I took a lot of time to kind of plan and think about how we could have everything set up so that when things did start to open, we could be at the forefront of it. So it was a combination of a lot of songwriting, but a lot of also like business aspects we worked on. We worked on a lot of like not the super fun stuff, but like budgeting and like thinking about like, how are we going to move forward? When can we film a music video? Like, I think the thing I spent the most time doing was looking at what the exact rules are for filming a music video in Ontario and in Toronto. I spent so many phone calls calling like the COVID-19 hotlines being like, so if everyone's masked, am I allowed? Like just like trying to figure out like, so if I'm a production company, am I allowed? Like trying to figure out how we could get things moving and not lose momentum that we had gained in the previous fall.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely. Just, hi, it's Astrid again.
Can I film that?
So just based on the notes you already have on my account.
Yeah, exactly.
Well, I mean, it's just as we've all had to adapt to try and make the most. So it sounds like you said you were handling the business aspects, which exactly aren't always the fun side of things, but it is the music business. So unfortunately, it is something that does need to get done. So you took care of the back end there, and then it got to around June, July, you said, and then suddenly that feeling hit where it's like, I need to release something. So it was you who sort of kicked the team in gear and was like, all right, we need to go, hey?
Yeah, so I mean, it was a combination because obviously I wasn't looking to break the law and get a crazy fine for it. So as much as I wanted to, it really was just a game of patience. And waiting for regulations because there was all of these, you probably heard there was all these different regulations. Like you're allowed to film if you're filming this, you're allowed to do this if it's like this. So it was all of these if, ands, and buts. So we never could really figure out if we would get in trouble for filming. And my concern was I didn't want the release of my song to be drowned out by people saying she didn't follow COVID regulations. she went against the rules. Like I didn't want that to be the thing because I'm the first one to advocate about staying safe and getting vaccinated, wearing your mask, being aware of those things. So I didn't want to get cast into a group that wasn't what it was about kind of thing. And luckily around, I think I filmed my music video like end of June ? I think it might have been like end of June or like mid-July. I can like double check that, but I'm pretty sure it was like around then. And we got to filming and I think we filmed the entire music video in like 2.5, 3 hours because we had done so much preparation that we basically went into the space and we're just like, go, 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 go. We were like, go. My choreographer was like, Astrid, get out here. Like the dancers were getting ready. Like we were all like, we were on a bit of a crazy high for the fact that we all hadn't been able to create and perform. So my videographers, my choreographer, my dancers, and I were all just so excited to like get to do it that we worked like insanely fast. And we were also filming from like 9:30 p.m. to midnight because we wanted to have control over like the lighting and we wanted it to be dark outside. So like for everyone who have that much energy that late at night, I was very impressed with us.
All right, just stop by the grocery station or the grocery store, pick up some coffee, maybe some cold brews and some energy drinks, and just make sure everyone's ready to go.
No, I think we had Gatorade and Cheez-Its. That's what I bought us. I felt like a little soccer mom.
God, sorry I didn't bring the orange slices this week, you guys.
So bad.
Well, of course, too, you want to get it done as well because it's, as you mentioned, rules were constantly changing and otherwise. So it's like you don't want to get caught in the middle of like, oh, well, things changed while we were in the middle of filming because you never know what might happen at midnight sometimes. So
Exactly. Yeah.
All right. So, of course, we talk about the video for your latest single, Jury, with the song itself released on August 13th here in 2021. So after sitting on things for a little while, since last November, I guess, what was it like to finally have that other single back out into the world to get the fans that taste of Astrid Tanton that they had been waiting so patiently for?
Yeah, it was, I didn't expect to be as nervous as I was because after last November, we had basically been releasing a song every month. And so I kind of got into the rhythm of what it was like when everyone was messaging me, like it felt more normal. And so after taking a break, and also I forgot how nerve-wracking it is to like have your friends listen to it. And I think that was the weirdest part is I'm pretty good at blocking out people who say nonsense things and avoiding giving into that negative energy. But I wasn't nervous about what my audience would think. I was more nervous about what my friends and the people I knew and worked with would think because they know me personally. And this song was kind of a huge step in a different direction, or it was just a huge contrast to Comfort and Better Off. And the video shows me looking a lot more mature and older. So I knew I was doing something very different and not in the same lane as Comfort and Better Off, which was really exciting and also terrifying because also I hadn't released a song in almost a year. So I was just like, whoa, this is what it's like to like have people messaging you and be thinking about like, okay, what's the next steps like for publicity? Like I had to like kick myself into gear, but like, this is what you do. Like, remember how this works.
So not just remembering how it works, but also taking a little bit of a step on yourself, or as you said, taking a little bit of a different energy musically and visually as well.
Yeah.
Okay. So in terms of that lyrical world, what exactly were you trying to capture with Jury?
Yeah. It's funny. I've said this for the past 3 songs, including Jury. Every time I release a song, there seems to be something going on in my life that relates exactly to the song I'm releasing. This is now the 3rd time this has happened, and I don't believe it's a coincidence anymore. But Jury essentially came from a place of, I think, like, especially kind of coming fresh out of high school and watching my friends and I go through a lot of the petty high school drama that I think everyone experiences. And Jury was kind of a reflection on that in terms of me thinking like, there's 2 sides to every story. You have 2 different points of view. And usually in the middle is where the most truthful answer is going to lie, because everyone likes to be the victim. And in my head, when I said everyone likes to be the victim, I thought of like a court and a jury. And it's like, that's where this idea came to my head of being like, it feels like you're telling your story to be judged when it really is no one else's place to judge because it's you. And then it kind of evolved into telling the story as like, when someone is your best friend and they love to be around you. And then the next day it's like they're talking some mad smack on you and they're telling other people these things. And you kind of feel like you have to petition yourself that you're not this terrible person. And the song is me kind of trying to say, no, I'm sick of that. I'm who I am. I know the truth and the other person knows the truth, but they're going to go and have their own motive kind of thing.
They have their own narrative to whatever way they want to spin it to make themselves look a certain way, right?
Exactly.
I don't know. Everyone always has that petty, like you say, I have to win the breakup. And I was like, what do you win?
You don't win anything. No one wins in a breakup. Breakups are awful for everyone. It's not like there's nothing to win. Like, yay, I got first place in the breakup. I've never heard anyone say that.
Yeah, it's just funny how that all works.
Yeah.
All right. So when it comes to the visual aspect of things, when I got to the end of the video, I happened to see that Astrid Tanton happened to co-produce and be the co-creative director of this video. So what was it like to sort of, you mentioned earlier that you guys had everything planned, ready to go, but at the beginning, what was the planning process like? What were you trying to capture here with this group of dancers?
Yeah, so a lot of the business aspects, like being the soccer mom and buying snacks, didn't occur till like the day before the video and the day of the shoot. We spent a lot of time working on the dance element, which was hard, but because we literally did not get to rehearse together till a week before the video shoot because of COVID. You couldn't be in a room with that many people. And all of these dancers are incredibly talented. So for them, it was nothing. They picked up the choreography. They were ready to go. Now, for your girl, Astrid, I'm a lanky giraffe. I'm not on the same caliber as they were. And so I had months of rehearsals. And I remember the first night I was in the space with them, I was so scared. And my choreographer came up to me and she literally said, "Stop looking scared." She's like, "You can't look scared." I was like, I'm trying my best. Because they all were just so good. Like, obviously, like that's their job. Dancing is their job. So like, if you put them in a singing room, they might feel completely opposite. But I felt like I was in their element. And in this song, you can't be scared. The whole point of this song is very like bad girl energy, like, bossing up, like that kind of vibe. So I couldn't look like a little 5-year-old who put heels on for the first time, even though that's what I felt like. Because my choreographer was also like, "Yeah, you're going to do this in heels." And I was like, "What?" I was like, Said who? Who suggested this? And it worked out well. It actually helped with my confidence. But like, we spent an hour and a half just teaching me how to walk in heels. Like, because at first she was just like, no. She was like, "That's not cute." So as like a co-director and producer, it was a lot of work on myself and then trusting everyone else that they knew what they were doing. Mm-hmm. Like my choreographer, she's great. My videographers were amazing. I was the loose cannon. I was the variable was if Astrid was going to pull it off. So I just had to check myself in place and be like, "Remember, you got this. Relax.
Remember, you're bad, even if you're Bambi-like in just a little bit. They're teaching you the skills. Like,
you can edit. There's edit on. We can edit this."
Exactly. Work around. Make it happen.
Exactly.
Awesome. Well, I love how it all came together, sort of the having that jury with you and sort of like the whole, like, they're silent, but at the exact same time, like, they're judging, and really, really powerful imagery there.
Yeah, the kind of like a little, I guess, like a little special thing in the video is that they don't ever look at me till the very last clip. So the entire video, the choreographer was like, "Don't look at Astrid. Like, you don't acknowledge her." And then in the last clip, they all turn their heads at me and they like brush my shoulder. And in one of the takes, they almost pushed me over. They brushed my shoulder so hard. I was in heels. I wasn't ready. And I was like, ooh. I was like, oh no. Yeah, it turned out amazing. And I'm like so thankful that everyone understood the crazy mind map I had in mind, because I'm not the best at, I'm a musician and a creative, but production and like explaining that to someone is still something I'm working on. And so I was just so thankful that they all like understood what I was trying to say.
Well, like you mentioned, completely different worlds where you can have an idea, but because you don't necessarily know all of the aspects, sometimes it might be a little difficult to like, are they going to know what I mean?
Yeah, like are they thinking the way I'm thinking, or are we on two different vibes?
Show up the day of and it's like, oh, what? No.
Why are they wearing pink? Like,
all right, heels was the only like major change up. All right, we got this. Good.
Yeah, I think we can make this work.
All right, and of course, from when we last spoke, you mentioned that From My Eyes intends to be a 5-track EP. So that leaves 2 more potential songs coming our way, plus the EP itself. So what does the near future, the rest of 2021 potentially hold for Astrid Tanton?
A lot more planning. Like always in the music industry, you can never plan enough. I'm hoping there is a lot of talk that I will be going on tour in the new year, which is crazy to say out loud because it still feels like a dream. So that would be incredible. So that's a lot of right now. My days are spent like meeting with music arrangers and like talking with bands, because that's the big thing that we're seeing in the future. Obviously, because we can finally perform live again, which hasn't been able to happen in like years. And so that's happening. And at the same time, like you said, I have 2 more songs coming out with this EP. So I think I'm actually filming the next music video like next week, which would mean that the song will be coming out within like a month or so, which is once again crazy to say out loud. But yeah, it's a lot of just like building blocks right now, like getting the songs out and getting the tour built, and then just keep going, really.
Mm-hmm. Just trying to be as prepared as possible as everything continues to open up gradually, step by step.
Yeah.
Until eventually Astrid Tanton, Canada Tour 2022. Oh.
I mean, oh my God, even hearing that, I've been like, just the fact that like my team has been like, yeah, well, we're preparing for your tour. I'm like, what? Me? Are you sure it's me?
And then, like you mentioned too, the potential of having a band playing with you as well. So it's not just you on stage alone trying to interact with the fans. You also will have band members to feed off of and interact with too.
Yeah, we're also hoping to include some dancers as well. Like we're trying to make this as full production and like going to see any show. We want it to be as professional and real as possible, you know? So there's, once again, a lot of moving parts. Luckily, I'm not doing all the production this time. I'm just focusing on the creative singer-songwriter aspects. But yeah, it's a lot to think about. It's crazy to think about like being on stage with dancers and a band and having an audience in front of me, just because like the last time I had an audience in front of me would have been like the March right before, like March of COVID lockdown, the first one. So like 2 years ago was the last time I did a live performance. And that was a pretty small venue. So it's crazy to think about.
Just completely different worlds from going into coming out then.
Yeah.
Wow. So definitely a major change. And yes, definitely good that you'll be able to focus more on protecting your voice and putting on the best performance you can, rather than making sure that every single piece of the puzzle, every cog in the wheel is actually turning.
Yeah.
Well, teamwork makes the dream work, as they say. So hopefully everything continues to open up in that way so that the tour can come. And of course, either way, we've got an EP. I'm sure there's lots of other songs that are potentially in the work as well.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I definitely have wrote quite a few new songs. So we're getting a good little batch of some friends to follow the EP.
All right. Making sure that we can follow that momentum. Keep it going.
For sure.
All right, Astrid. Well, I've had a blast reconnecting. I have one last question. I'm not sure if I asked it last time, but are you ready for it?
Might have. You asked a funny one last time. Last time you asked about aliens, and it threw me.
All right, well, we'll ask a different one. This one time I've been diving a little bit more into personal growth and otherwise with people as we go through things. So what I would like to know is, through these last couple of years of having everything shut down, leading to release the EP once, having to be replanned, and now getting to this point, once again, the release of Jury, otherwise, your growth into the woman you are becoming. With this time, how do you feel that you have grown as an individual, or what have you learned about yourself?
It's a really good question, because I've been asked, like how I've grown, but I'm more interested in, I think I've learned more about myself, which has caused growing. I learned that I have a bad obsession with wanting to do everything myself. I learned that very quickly, especially with working with my team, because they were just like, relax, like, trust us. Like, and I'm like, I do trust you. They're like, then let us do it. And I was like, no, I want to do it. And it's just because I like to feel capable, and I feel the need to prove I'm capable, even though like I don't. I don't have to prove that I'm capable to know that I'm capable. So I felt like I had to be involved in every little thing. When in reality, that is just not possible, especially in this industry as the artist. You cannot be there for every meeting and be there for all the little in-between steps. So I learned that I have to be more patient with myself, because I'm also my worst critic, and I will be the hardest on myself before anyone else says anything to me. So like, from learning to let go a bit and also have patience with myself, that helped me grow a lot.
Wow, so a lot of lessons here then, a lot of growth, a lot of learning about not just who you're becoming, but who you already are.
Exactly.
All right, well, thank you for sharing these lessons, as well as this last year Jury and the future with us here today on the Desert Tiger podcast, Astrid.
Thank you.